Bitcoin, obviously. Tesla. I think Facebook's going down. I think they're going to drop. I think Apple's going to go with them. I think Google and Amazon are going to follow along. And I think that's what's going to take Tesla after. I think Tesla's going to dip, and then they're going to take all that money. It's going to run Tesla to over 1,000.
It's a bold statement.
I said they were going to go to 800 when they were at 300 on live video a few months ago. So that was bold. Let's keep on going. All right. So we have everybody in here tonight. We got BUNC. I don't know what that name is. Bunsey. We got Hamza. We got Isom. We got Junior White. We got Kid Franks, Matt Oliver, Stefan G, Stock Advocate. You guys are allowed to show your screen, show your faces, show your mics, open them up, talk, tell us where you came from, what you're wanting to learn, what you guys are here for. Let us know. Introduce yourselves. If you're new. BUNC, but how do I say that? Bunce, you're new.
Right.
Stock Advocate's new to the group. Feel free to introduce yourself. If you guys don't know how to talk, you might have to hit the push to talk. You have to hit a button while you're talking.
What's up? What's up? Stock from good old Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, Cleveland in the house.
Yeah, that was a sad game yesterday. Sad game. Still feeling it.
Yeah, that was a head-to-head helmet for sure.
It was
Patrol
both
line there.
But been training for a couple months. Looking to get into Forex, so picking up anything I can, man.
Perfect.
What is your ultimate goal to take from elite trading?
Anything I can get, man. Any tips from anybody?
Nice.
Nothing specific.
You've come to the right place.
All right. Well, with that being said, I won't make everybody feel too uncomfortable. Who's going to say something? Keep it up. I'll keep them going.
Oh, what's up? It's Franco here. Just wanted to say thanks for what's going on. I invited my buddy Bunce into the group tonight.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Let's get it.
Bunce, welcome. All right. Well, I'm going to talk about a little bit of the not so serious part of trading, like taking away the technical analysis, taking away the chart reading, taking away all the crazy parts of trading that people are like scared of. When you walk in, you're like, what the hell are these charts? What is all this information that I'm seeing? And it's a little overwhelming. And where I want you to understand as a brand new trader, as a beginner trader, you have to take in the fact that even myself, a lot of people in the group that have started, most people can say that they took $500, they invested, and they lost it all. And that was like the way they started. And they said, hey, you know what? I took another 500 and I thought of that last 500 as a training lesson, or I thought of that last 500 as I'm never getting in the stock market. Those guys are idiots and this is stupid. You know, that's how there's only one way to take it, or sorry, two ways to take it. And that's either positive or negative. The ones that take that next 500 and go, you know what? Now I'm going to be smarter and I'm going to go in and realize what I didn't know before. And I'm going to advance this $500 to make up for what happened last time. And that simple motion of or moment of you being able to say, hey, you know what, I can do this, I'm going to learn. Then I try to tell people, take that money. If you're in that position now, or if you're in that first 500, you need to understand that you want to invest that 500 in learning by trading, paper trading, by back testing theories, by back testing strategies, learning everything you can. Because you could make that 500 turn into 5,000 with knowledge, or you can lose 2,500 before you finally realize how to make $100. And you really don't understand that, because in this market, if you're coming in and you got really lucky, so if you're one of those traders that have got really lucky, you have to understand also that there's going to be a downturn. There's going to be a drop. There's going to be the point where you were all in. And that was the moment when the strike happened. And they said, you know what? We know everyone's all in. It's too easy. If it feels too easy, it's time to get out. And those are the kind of motion. You need to write that stuff down and be like, risk management, number one. That's the top of your list every night. Be like, okay, how am I going to manage my risk? What's my strategy? How much am I risking when I get in? And why did I make the trade in the first place? Am I getting in because people are saying, hey, this stock's about to go up? And you go, well, I agree, so I'm getting in. Maybe that's a good enough reason. And that could be a good enough reason a lot of the times. But then some people say, well, what about your fundamental analysis? Have you actually researched what the company does? Are you a person that's, and I know I'm going to go fast here. These are hot tips, like just things to think about. And they're not going to coincide. Just keep that in mind. So there's a lot of information that's going to come at you, and you have to prioritize what is important to you. The first thing that I would suggest is, what kind of trader are you? Write that down. What kind of trader am I? Am I a day trader? Am I a swing trader? Am I a long-term investor? Am I looking for dividends? Am I looking to grow a $500 account $10 a day? Am I looking to invest 500 and I'm willing to lose it and I want to risk it on a high risk play over a week's time? I'm willing for it to be nothing, or I'm willing for it to double. You know, what is the type? What type of trader are you? And write that down. You know, and look up types of traders. Google, research, YouTube, what type of traders there are, and then figure out which one you are. And if you're all of the above and you want to do all of the above, then create an account that is built for each one of those types of trading, you know, each one of those U's. And that's that's going to be the point where you actually become a successful professional trader, because you have a dividend account, you have a growth account, you have a speculative account, you have an options account, you have futures accounts, you have a person managing your money that you're making off of all those accounts. You have someone else that's taking the risk out of your hands, and they're taking the emotion out of your hands, and they're mechanically trading your money because that's what you've adopted them to do. And that's what you've trained yourself to appreciate, that they can trade your money and you're safe with that. And that's the type of mentality you have to have before you're ready to go. And you put all these things together, and it'll just create the perfect scenario for yourself. And while you're doing that, while you're creating all this growth and creating all these different accounts, you want to learn and grow with us and learn about what we're talking about, because all the strategies that I talk to you about, everything that Mickey talks about, these are all strategies that were taught to us by other people. We didn't reinvent the wheel. We didn't make any of this shit up. Some of it that you see with me, like my lines and the way that I put my support and resistance, that's strictly just what you get from elite trading. I'm not taking that information from anybody or using any indicators. Those are strictly what I put in for where I think it's going to go, strictly in my opinion. But when you get to classes, you're learning from thousands of dollars worth of information, you know, and sometimes it can be, you know, priceless information that we're just trying to bring to you guys slowly and teach you every day. And some of it can be boring. Some of it can be over your head. Some of it can be infantile, and you feel like you already know it and you're past that. But it's okay if you feel like you're already past it. Relearn it and write it down again and back test it over and over again until you know that, and you know the questions when someone says, hey, do you understand what I mean there? And people go, yeah. Well, what you really need to say is, yeah, here, let me show you. I know what you mean. Let me show you. I can take this chart and tell you where the new high is going to be, the new low is going to be, when the next stop point is going to be. You can predict the future based off of previous history, previous results. And you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be able to predict the future, but you can give yourself the tools to predict less failures, if that makes sense. And that's where the risk comes in, and the risk management and protecting your portfolio, having a hedged account overnight. If you're long $10,000 on all positions and you're green on everything, you might want to short over the next 2 weeks. You might want to short the SPY or short the QQQs or short whatever position that's opposite of yours, to make sure that if you do get a drop, you're going to make money on it, and sell some calls, sell some puts, and make weekly income on stocks that don't move a lot, you know. And those are things that we can teach you, where you can make $10 a week per contract that you sell to, let's say, Ford, who doesn't move a lot. But then when they do move, then it's okay, because you're not going to lose a lot of money when you sell them, and you're already you're holding the shares, so you're benefiting from the move up, even though you were selling calls hoping it didn't. But if you have 1,000 shares at $8 and a stock goes to 10, you're not going to be mad that you just sold it for $2 a share per. You're not going to be mad about that income. So you have to think about it like that. If I buy 100 shares of Ford at $8 and I sell a call every week that it doesn't hit $10 every week. So let's say if you look at the chart, it took 2 months. So for 8 weeks, you made the premium on every call you sold. You got to make the money on that every time you sold one. And then once it hit $10, if somebody actually held one of those and they exercised it, then now you can just sell them 100 shares for $10 a share and you bought them for $8. Are you going to be mad about that? Anyone in the group? Are you going to be mad about that situation? Anyone?
Buying at 10,
Or,
selling at 8?
no, buying at 8, selling at 10.
No, I think that'd be all right.
It's not a bad plan. So the other way that you hedge yourself is that you also buy a put at $8. So let's say that you buy 100 shares at $8. You buy a put for, let's say, $20, and it protects your account. So if, let's say, the stock drops down to $6 tomorrow, well, now you have the right to sell your 100 shares at $8 a share by buying that put. So now, no matter what, the only thing, if the stock goes down $2, you've only lost the $30 it took for you to buy that put. Now you're selling calls against that the whole entire time, collecting a premium. And every time you collect that premium, you buy more and more shares as it goes up.
So it's like a push and a pull strategy. So you're always buying at the low, basically.
Exactly. You're buying at the low bids, and you're buying and buying and buying, and then as it rolls up, you're like, hey, the one lucky guy that gets to buy 100 of your shares at $2 profit, you're like, cool. And if you looked at it, you only got 19 cents more before it dropped anyway. So 10.19 was the high. You know, what do you care?
Are
right?
you normally buying for long term options, or are they like short term so they expire quickly?
Sometimes if you guys see in my thing, I would say about 90%. 90% of mine are going to be past at least 1 week.
Okay.
It's going to be the following week. I like to buy them on Monday for the following Friday for 2 weeks out.
Is that strictly in the VIP that you put options calls or what?
Yeah, we like for the subscription when you pay for it, you get there's actually 5 of us that give our call outs, or 4 at least, because one of them's in the military and he's actually in Washington right now. So but you get live call outs from us, and we put out what we're buying. We don't put when we sell, we just put when we buy. One of our guys does put when he sells.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, if I say I'm going to buy, and when we say it, we literally buy it. We're not just, and we will put out speculative calls every now and then. I don't do that a lot, but I do want to start doing it more on, let's say that I've got 10 grand in my options account. I've already used them all. Well, I see a good play. I want to let you guys know that, but I used to not put it in there unless I actually bought it myself. So I will throw out some calls out there as well, and I'll put didn't buy, but I would have, kind of thing.
True. Do you guys ever trade in the Canadian stock market or strictly the American?
I'm strictly in the American market. I barely even trade anything that's not American stock. There's a few China stocks that I'll trade, but I traded the Neo node, which is in SWIT. But there's a lot of I won't even trade companies outside of here typically, just because of regulation.
None of you trade any cryptos, or? Yeah,
I trade crypto. I don't trade it like I'm more of an investor in crypto than I am a trader of crypto.
Okay. I just I have to use my bank here for banking or for trading, and they don't do cryptos yet. I'm starting do you think Coinbase is a good company to have a
Gemini.com.
Gemini.com, yeah.
It's ran by the Winklevosses.
I'm gonna write that down. What's it called?
Gemini.
Gemini.com.
Yeah, so I've pretty much traded crypto. This is Stefan here. I've used Gemini to actually fund for the main coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, the main ones, and then Bittrex is for the smaller coins like XLM and.
What would you say? What would you say the safest wallet to use would be?
I would recommend getting like a cold wallet. So I have like a ledger. I mean, if you plan on keeping them on the exchange long, I would definitely invest in one of those. Just because what if the exchanges crashes, and
Yeah.
who's going to be the person that you talk to about getting your shit back? You want to be in control of that. But Gemini is pretty secure. I've held coins on there for 6 months, 7 months. Nothing's happened. But I would just say, to be on the safe side, definitely invest in a ledger.
So, Stefan, do you mind if and you don't have to sell, but do you mind letting them know when you first bought Bitcoin at what price, just to let the group kind of know how long you've been trading it and like where you got in and kind of what you got, you know more about this than a lot of people in our group.
Yeah, so around 2017, my buddy first introduced them to me. It was $1,000. I ended up buying 10 of them at 1,500. That same year, around December, just like this December, which Bitcoin does every single year, literally, it goes to its top. Its top around that time was 19 to 20,000. I sold all my coins for 19,000 and diversified into like XLM and Chainlink, which took off like crazy too. Because Chainlink was around $2, and now it's at like $20. So you just have to like slowly just, find value and just be patient too, because I mean, and you can't be buying at the top prices. All these, people are telling you to buy it. Like, it always is going to come back down. Everything that goes up has to come back down. So just be patient with your entries and exits. Really try to understand what's your goal, what you're trying to do. But my advantage was I got in a lot earlier than anybody could have.
The Bitcoin millionaire.
Thank you. Thanks, Stefan. But Mickey, are you ready to go?
Dude, I'm like 8 minutes from my house.
Oh, you're good. We
I'm
got
not
8 minutes of
like 5
content.
minutes.
Take your time.
Okay, cool. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, no
I got
problem.
another quick question. Do you guys know anything about NFTs?
What does that stand for?
Non-fungible tokens on the blockchain.
I actually don't. What I would suggest for you to like find out info about that stuff is just like, look it up on YouTube, look it up on, Google and Twitter as well. I've noticed a lot of people on Twitter, they give out just like free information about coins and stuff.
You're saying like it's like a digital asset, like it's like a token version of real world assets is what I looked up, and it says it says doesn't make much sense, and if they were talking about currencies, you'd be right. However, blockchain tokens can represent more than just currency. In fact, the possibilities of blockchain assets are nearly endless. NFTs work essentially as a database entry for any type of good. Perhaps the easiest example is the most popular NFT in blockchain history, CryptoKitties.
Interesting.
Robot. Disengage. I'm just kidding. So would that be like the way I know that there's like people selling digital land as like a scam right now kind of thing / that's like just not gonna be worth money, but that's kind of goes along this that you can actually own tangible and non-tangible assets with based off of a coin.
Would that not be the same idea as a coin?
Yeah. I mean, it is the reason behind Bitcoin, from what my understanding is that it's a transferable asset that's instant. You don't have to wait for any type of long-term 2-day, 3-day, or any of the money to move over. It's just instantly real money right away. And that's when the big dogs really got in. It was when they realized that, like the JP Morgan Chase. Have you guys looked up stable coin with JP Morgan?
Haven't. No. Stable coin?
Yeah, so stable coin is going to be a actual one-for-one currency. So it'll be, each coin will be worth $1. So JP Morgan's going to say that they're going to have their own coin that's worth $1. Instead of your money being held as $100 in the bank, you have 100 coin, and then your coin can be transferred or processed instantly. You don't have to wait for like overnight transfers and things like that.
But you can't get gains on it?
As of now, no. But think about it like this: you couldn't on gold was worth what it was worth when it was worth it, right?
Yeah.
So what if
Back on that gold, you were saying about investing again in gold. Would you say pull the trigger now on getting some stocks that they're down, or you think they're going to have a bit more of a pullback here still?
I think that they're gonna be the ones that are lagging now. So here's my thought process. You want to get in anything that's lagging on a 52-week low or a 36-week low. You want to find these stocks and buy in on a red day, because these are the ones that are going to be the laggards. These are the ones that everyone's going to be Apple, Google, all the big dogs, Spotify, Etsy, all the Plug Power, the dumbass stocks. Everything that drops after the good stocks, it's going to go to the dumbass stocks, right? So, sorry, the dumbass stocks are going to go first, and then the big stocks will go. And they're going to move that money, and they're going to rebalance it into safer bets, which are gold, silver, futures, different assets that haven't been moving. Like the stay-at-home stock has been okay, but now it's about to really move. It's like the stay-at-home health stocks are where I'm at. So I'm all about stay-at-home health, future growth for the space industry, and all about the gold, silver, and the precious metals.
Nice.
And that's just for the future. That's looking at as in it could be a 2-month play. This could be something that all this stuff takes a breath for 2 months, and right when everyone thinks that they should have got into gold, it's going to be too late, and then everything goes back to normal again, and they all buy back into the big dogs that kept on working before.
Yeah.
And it's kind of been the play for a long time now. If you ever see, I always reference this, if you ever see that movie Lucky Number 11, everyone looks left, and then he's like, boom, he looks left, he's like, when everyone else is looking right, and he snaps his neck, and he's like, that's the move. He's like, everyone else is looking left, right, when you look right, and then boom, you look left to see what's going on, and you get your neck broke.
Yeah. Just the wrong time.
It's all about timing. It's all it is. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so
I
fine.
got plenty of things to talk about until then.
What are your predictions for Gevo? Like, what do you think is a good point to pull out of Gevo?
Well, you have on the chart right now, if I look at it on a blind site looking in, like not giving a shit about what the company does, what they stand for, I'm just strictly looking at price action and previous highs, previous lows. It looks like $6.96 is your previous resistance. And then if it breaks past there, you can go to $7.50 and above, or it's going to drop back down to $6.50. But it looks like it found support down there. So I predict it's going to go past the $7 mark up to try to break past that $7.50 again.
Sweet. Yeah.
Now, if the market crashes, though, it could go down to $5, all the way down to $4.29.
Would you say that that's a good hold for a couple of years, or would you be unloading it?
I'd have to really look into the fundamentals on it and realize, what they're looking at for their financials and things of that nature.
Yeah, true enough.
It's being short sold right now, it looks like. So you could get a short squeeze, but just be careful. My wife is awesome. She just brought me some stuffed cheese sticks and some marinara sauce, and I am ready to eat these bad boys and let Mickey go to work.
I believe Mickey is switching to his computer right now.
Oh.
He's not even here right now.
What do you guys think about what I said? Did I blab on? Was it too much, or did you guys learn a little bit? Or
Oh, that was very insightful. Thank you, man.
awesome.
Can't speak for everybody, but
That's all that matters. Bunsey is typing.
Oh, Mickey, we can't hear you.
Oh yeah, so that's my buddy Bunce. He just started a trading account, so I said that this is probably his best source to learn a little bit of information before getting into the market. So if you guys have any advice for him as a very first time beginner, he could definitely utilize it.
Well, we do offer a $10 a week, or sorry, $10 a month. That is where he can just learn off of like I already made terminology videos, and I'll be adding more and more videos every week to where it's just gonna be like from starting and even clicking the button on Robinhood or Webull or wherever you're at, and just starting from fresh, initiating your first trade, everything.
Yeah, we're actually both Canadians, fucking. So we have a slightly different trading kind of program here, I think, but we can still buy U.S. stocks and everything.
How'd you find out about our group, if you don't mind me asking?
I just fucking had somebody message me the one day on I think it was the Instagram or whatever. Is that what it was?
Awesome. Hey, that's fine. I'm just curious because if we're reaching out to, you're the first.
It was like
Canadians
would
that
it
we've
be
got.
Stock Guru? Is that
I don't know.
on Instagram? I'm not sure, but yeah, I found it through the Instagram. There's like a thing to the Discord page, so I just checked it out and fucking started following. I've been following a couple of the trades and made a couple moves, and definitely enjoy being a part of it.
Awesome. What do you guys think about Tilray up there in the pot stock, TLRY?
So I actually used to work for MPXI. I was like a grower there for a couple of years. The weed industry here in Canada is not like it is in America because just of like the laws and all that, right?
Right.
They got a lot of fucking holdbacks from the government just on allowing product out and like all this stuff. And a lot of these companies that started here, they were just like pharmaceutical dudes that didn't have any compassion or care about product. So they just basically grew a bunch of bunk weed, and it was just sitting in their storage units. So the big shift that just happened is they only want to buy craft cannabis now for the industry. So it takes a lot of power away from the guys who are trying to grow mass production, and gives a little bit more power to the smaller companies, in my opinion, because they're the ones who are actually trying to grow like quality scale cannabis for their customers, which is what attracts the customer to come back. And I personally believe that there's going to be a big shift into the small companies being eaten up by the larger companies, because they see that their value is starting to become a lot more than what they have in the large facilities. So they'll be able to basically buy them up because they have so much more capital than these smaller companies. And they're also, a lot of these companies are struggling right now. So they're basically looking for a hook in the water to bite at this opportunity. So I think there'll be a lot of funneling of smaller companies into bigger companies, if that helps anything at all.
Yeah, big time. What's one of the bigger companies there? Do you guys what's the top three companies in Canada that you would want to tell us about?
I will.
Or top one, top two.
I'm invested in a few of them. I'll run through some stuff tonight, and I'll post the top three that I think I would recommend, and then you guys can take a look at them and do your own stuff too.
Yeah, man, that'd be great. Yeah, let us know what the top companies that you think are the ones that'll probably take advantage. Because what we'll want to look for is they're going to acquire smaller companies. So you want to find the big dogs that are going to acquire smaller companies. What they acquire them at is what's going to be the evaluation for that bigger company. So if they acquire them at like a smaller price than expected, or if that's how, when you learn about acquisitions, let's say I acquire a company at $7.15 and the stock's at $5, that means that most big investors, they're going to run that baby all the way up to that $7 mark, right? Because that's what they're going to get acquired at. So the stock's worth it that moment. Well, some people hear about it and they see it went from 5 to 7, and they get in at 7 and it moves up 12 cents and it doesn't move, right? Forever.
True enough. And that's because of the lockup period, right?
Yeah, exactly. Once it gets to that point, that's what happened on SPWH when we called it out. We were in early, we made a bunch of money, and then it got locked up because the price is at like $18 or whatever, and it never even went to 18. It stayed under it like 17.80.
True enough. Good stuff. None of you guys have weed stocks right now, or you pulled out of all of them already? Obviously,
I traded ACB like a little bit, and then I got out of them, and then I had Tilray for a little while for options, made a little money, and now I don't think I own any weed stocks except for let me see if I do still own that one or not. Hexo, HEXO, yeah, I still own Hexo.
Yeah. So like a lot of those companies, even like one of my friends who, he was the one who kind of got me into trading. He's like, you should put some money into the market, and I was like, fuck yeah. He bought it like the high of weed stocks, and he taught me a lot on what not to do with buying stocks too, like just on the fact of like pure hype and stuff. So that's one thing. I'm still speculative too about the weed stocks, because as much as like I know they're gonna be.
Hey. Oh.
Yes, I see I see that there's a lot of volatility in the pot stocks, but I do think that if you average yourself down on some bad days and keep yourself at those good support levels, that you're going to get a nice bounce eventually.
Yeah, definitely. Because what
goes, with Biden
what
and
goes
the
down
Democrat
must always come back up, hopefully, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Matt, are you ready?
I'll definitely write a couple down and post them tonight or tomorrow morning.
Is Blake? Can you reach out to Matt and see if he's ready, or?
I just did. But while Mickey figures out his stuff, and we can get his stuff rolling here in a second, I do want to say for
hey guys, I'm trying to connect to my internet. For some reason, it's being retarded.
Oh, no worries. If you're new, I mean, I started off relatively new, not really knowing any strategies, anything like that. And the best advice I could give you is just literally just saying your plays and what you're doing in like the live trading chat, because there's been more times that I can count that I've made like double my money saying what I was doing, and then Ben, Kaylor, Mickey, anybody, me and Biggie have gone back and forth on like IPO launches and conversations like that. And just having that extra perspective and insight, everybody is really really nice when it comes to like sharing different strategies and things like that. Like I didn't even know what like covered calls were or anything like that when I started, but Ben W helped walk me through it. Kaylor and I sat in a call for literally probably 2 hours. Like he was doing it with me so I could fully understand it. So I think the best advice I could give is literally just kind of just sharing everything you're doing. Nobody's here to judge. Just everybody's honestly just here to help each other.
Awesome.
Hey guys,
Yeah, if you guys have a stock, yeah, we can hear you. And if you have a stock, like in live trading, no matter how new you are, if you have a stock that you're like, hey, I'm just curious about this, the one thing I will say is make sure it's over $1. If it's under $1, bring me some good reason to talk about it.
Fair enough.
Because penny stocks are just all speculative, in my opinion. And I do post some, and like we did the other day, we got the CTRM at 20 cents, sold it at 40, you know, doubled our money. But I do that once a 6 months.
Dogecoin's going to $10.
Hey, don't mute yourself. Don't talk again.
Hello?
What?
Hey, if he does, I've got 100,000 shares just in case.
Hey, if it does, Biggie, I'll give you everything I own.
I was just saying, I own 100,000 just in case on that bad boy.